Today's spoiler video is brought to you by Card Kingdom. Use the link below to pre-order your cards today. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another daily dose of Ultimate Masters spoilers. And Ultimate Masters is one of the weirdest spoiler seasons that we ever had. We got all of the mythics and almost 20 of the 53 rares from the Ultimate Box Toppers, which means we only have a 2-day, well, kind of 3-day spoiler season. We get spoilers today, spoilers tomorrow, and then full set on Wednesday. And heading into these spoilers, I was kind of thinking, alright, there's a lot of value in the Box Toppers, there's a lot of really good cards we've seen already, so we're probably going to see a lot of, bulk rares, janky stuff, and I have been absolutely shocked at how many sweet cards are in this set. So we're talking about the new cards from today, and unlike standard spoiler season, when we're kind of talking about, this could go in this deck, this could be the synergy, our focus today is more on the cards, their value, and also why they're important. Like, if they see play somewhere, gonna try to mention it. So a quick reminder before we break down our daily Ultimate Masters spoilers. If you enjoy this video and you haven't already, it would be amazing of you if you could take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk some Ultimate Master, starting with the two big money cards of the day, Phyrexian Altar and Phyrexian Tower. And while these cards might not look like much, they're both originally printed a long time ago. In fact, Phyrexian Tower, first time in foil, I believe. We've never got a foil version of it. And both of these cards were roughly $50. $50. They're going to drop now, and these are cards that are actually pretty important for Commander and even for Legacy. So Phyrexian Altar is mostly a Commander card. It's a cool combo piece with things like Gravecrawler, keep sacking it, recasting it, sacking it, recasting it, get infinite enter the battlefield, leave the battlefield triggers, and while it's certainly going to drop a lot in price, that's actually a great thing, because right now, there's people that are going to want to play Phyrexian Altar in their Commander deck, but at $50, because it's so old and low supply, it's really hard for a lot of people to afford, but this is going to crush the price of Phyrexian Altar. Instead of $50, it's going to be like $15 or something. So a really sweet reprint for Commander players. And then Phyrexian Tower, it does see a bit of play as a sack outlet in Commander, but really it shows up in Legacy Nick Fit. It's a way you can sacrifice your Veteran Explorer to ramp up into your Thragtusk and Grave Titans, and another card that is not only really expensive normally, but as a first-time foil, the foil printings on this are probably going to be ungodly expensive for Legacy players and Commander players, so a pretty good start to the day already. Beyond the two big money cards, we got Glenelender Archmage, which is a weird card. It shows up in Commander. I have occasionally seen it show up in Modern, but it's a pretty expensive card in its own right, like $23, $24, being able to double counter a non-creature spell, and this is one of my favorite cards. I love Glenelender Archmage. It's a really powerful effect, and the new art on it, oh my goodness, it is so sweet. The new fairy art we saw on Bitter Blossom earlier is just so good. So super excited to see Glenelender Archmage returning. Otherwise, we got a bunch of kind of mid-grade rares. Vexing Devil, All Is Dust, Eldrazi Conscription. These are all cards that are in the like $13 to $17 or $18 range. So even if you're buying a pack for $12 or $14, if you open one of these, you're not going to be disappointed. Like, you get a rare that's worth the cost of your pack. Of course, all these cards are going to go down in value. There's too much value in the set for them not to go down in value, but right now they're all reasonable opens, and some of them even see play. Vexing Devil has kind of risen to prominence recently. With the printing of Pelt Collector, it's a really awesome follow-up to Pelt Collector Experiment Run, growing your 1-drops, getting really huge, maybe dealing some damage along the way. As far as All Is Dust, it's a staple sweeper for Tron decks in Modern. A 7 mana lines up perfectly with the amount of mana that Tron makes, and then you get rid of all your opponent's stuff, presumably, while not really hurting your stuff if you're playing a bunch of colorless threats like Wormcoils and Karns and so forth. As far as Eldrazi Conscription, back in the day, it was a thing in Sander. There was a deck that was using Sovereigns of Lost Alara to tutor up Eldrazi's Conscription, but at this point, it's mostly just a super sweet casual card. One of the biggest, baddest auras in all of Magic's history, so a lot of casual demand there. So a bunch more reasonable reprints. Moving down the list, we do have some, I guess you'd consider them bulk rares. They're not even true bulk, they're a few dollars. Visions of Beyond, Gamble, Wall of Reverence. These are all cards that see a bit of play here and there in very specific archetypes, and they're worth like $5, $10. Wall of Reverence a little less. Visions of Beyond is basically mill Cestral Recall. If you're playing a mill deck in Modern, it's almost always going to draw you 3 cards for a single mana, which is a great deal, so it's kind of an archetype staple there. As far as Gamble, this one mostly shows up in Legacy, also Commander. It's a great tutor if you're playing a red deck in Commander, but in Legacy, it shows up as a way to find your life from the loam, especially in the lands deck, where you're setting up the Dark Depths Thespian Sage combo, so it's a staple tutor in that deck, as well as being one of the most played cards, like 15 most played red cards in the Commander format. So even though it's only like $10 right now because it was reprinted in a Turtle Masters, I believe, it's still a great card to have more copies of with super sweet new art. Squee kind of falls into the same camp. It's not a high value card, but even though it's been reprinted multiple times, 10th edition in a Masters set, it's still worth like $4 or $5, and it's a card that's really fun to build around one of the more unique effects in Magic. So seeing it drop from $5 or like $20 for a playset, probably down to like $1 or something if you want to build a deck around it, even those little changes, those are really helpful and really beneficial for players. So while you're not going to do a celebration if you open a Squee in your pack, it's still a card that's going to be great for people buying singles, building fun against the odds decks, Commander decks, or whatever. We got a couple of interesting downgrades in Rarity. Shuri, Shizu's Caretaker, is actually a really unique and popular commander. What's like $4 or $5, but it's getting downgraded from rare to uncommon for Ultimate Masters. So copies are going to get super cheap if you've been waiting to build a really spicy combo deck around Shuri. And then Fire Ice is mostly of note because this is the first time it's been printed at common. And this is a card that not that long ago was Legacy playable. Legacy decks played Fire Ice. It's going to be in the Pauper format for the first time ever, which is super sweet, super exciting. So I'm going to be excited to see if this card can take off in Pauper. I'm thinking it's too good not to. Like, it's got to be a perfect card. Like, the Fire side could kill Delvers, could kill 2 Delvers, 2 small creatures as you split up the damage. The Ice side lets it cycle and maybe just annoy your opponent by tapping down their, like, Ulamog's Crusher or something. So this is a really exciting reprint, downgraded to common for Pauper. Otherwise, we got a bunch of other random commons. These are cards that were already common, so they're not new to Pauper, but more Treasure Cruises, cheaper Gurmag Anglers, Martyr of Sands worth a couple bucks. Good thing to reprint them now and head off the price increase, because cards like Gurmag Angler and Martyr of Sands are playable in Modern, and they're cards that'll slowly creep up in price, so getting more copies out there now means we don't have to worry about Martyr of Sands being $5 or $10 at some point in the future when someone spikes a tournament with Martyr Proc or whatever. So anyway, those have been our daily Ultimate Masters spoilers for today. So let me know what you think about these cards. How excited are you for this set? Does the value we're seeing today with Phyrexian Altar, with Phyrexian Tower, with all the like $15, $20 Glenelinder Vexing Devil, all his dust type rares, is it changing your opinion on the set? I know the first video we did, people were a little bit like meh about the price increase and MSRP going up, but just seeing how much value this set actually has stuffed into it, is that changing your tune? Are you going to pick up a box? Are you going to get one? Are you going to open one? Are you going to draft it? Or are you just going to pick up singles that are going to be so cheap? We're seeing $50 cards like Phyrexian Altar, Phyrexian Tower. They're going to be like $10 or $15 cards. It's going to be a huge discount for everyone. So let me know what you're most excited about. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.